Welcome back, everybody, to Altcoin Daily. My name is Aaron. If you hold Bitcoin, you ought to be feeling pretty good. Bloomberg has just published a 10-page report titled Bitcoin Maturation Leap. Yeah, Bitcoin is maturing, and Bloomberg recognizes this. In fact, Bloomberg's got to be pretty bullish to put out a report like this to all of their constituents, because make no mistake about this. This report is the bullish case for Bitcoin. Cointelegraph covered this. They said Bloomberg, Bitcoin is setting up for a 2017-like bull run. In a recent Bloomberg report, they concluded that Bitcoin may be priming for a massive bull run. Just look at this. Just look at this. This is that report. And immediately you can recognize how detailed all of this stuff is. This goes out to all of Bloomberg's constituents. So the obvious question is, well, what exactly does this report talk about? And by the way, guys, if you have a no-coiner friend, see, the thing is, this is exactly what I would send to a friend for anybody who's asked me about Bitcoin, but they need that kind of social proof or expert proof. Let's support the channel. Let's get this video out there to as many people as possible. Like the video, and let's answer that question. Well, what precisely does this report go over? They talk about how Bitcoin was born in a financial crisis like what we have today. They talk about how Bitcoin has matured, and they talk about how Bitcoin's maturation is actually accelerating. Talk about how the stock market shakeout actually accelerates Bitcoin's gold-like transition. And that's actually something that was very apparent in this report, how Bloomberg compared Bitcoin and made multiple arguments as to why Bitcoin is becoming digital gold. So for instance, Cointelegraph pulled out some of the good quotes. This year will confirm Bitcoin's transition from a risk-on speculative asset to the crypto market's version of gold. The report reiterates that 2020 will be the year when Bitcoin becomes digital gold. This year marks a key test for Bitcoin's transition towards a quasi-currency like gold, and we expect it to pass. That's bold. That's good. Now, they go on to talk about other things. They say increasing futures open interest, declining volatility, and relative outperformance despite the stock market shakeout indicates that Bitcoin is maturing from a speculative crypto asset towards a digital version of gold. The report says that we can expect Bitcoin's volatility to continue to decrease. This is significant since the all-time low volatility happened in October of 2015, and that marked the beginning of the bull market. They talk about bull markets a lot in this article, actually. Now, they go on to say Bitcoin is undervalued at this point relative to on-chain metrics, and then they conclude, with central banks around the world pouring trillions of dollars into the economy, 2020 may be the year when Bitcoin becomes the new digital gold for the digital economy. So Bloomberg recognizing that the economy is trending towards digital and we're getting farther away from the legacy financial system and we're trending towards being more digital, and Bitcoin is a natural fit. See, one of the reasons why I wanted to make sure that you saw this, and again, notice how detailed this report is. This is great. But one of the reasons I wanted to make sure you saw this is because you probably get sick of me evangelizing Bitcoin so much. I know you probably get sick of me always trying to reason why Bitcoin has a bullish future. Well, when notable organizations like Bloomberg come out and basically say something very similar, their conclusions for Bitcoin's long-term potential are basically the same conclusions that I've made and plenty of other people have made, this kind of, if you can hear it from multiple people, it helps open your mind a little bit, I think. And who knows, maybe Bloomberg watches Altcoin Daily. It's possible. But I guess my point is, it's easy to lose faith sometimes when you've heard kind of the same stuff before. And it's not just you, it's also smart money who sometimes loses faith. For instance, check this out. Peter Brandt, famous world-renowned trader. Sometimes he's been bullish on Bitcoin, sometimes he's been bearish. Lately, he's been a little bearish. So I liked what he tweeted out. He said, "Meester, thank you for the time on the phone. It was good to be reminded of Bitcoin's underlying value proposition." And I liked this, and I actually thought the same thing this person did. Tur, could you summarize those underlying value propositions of Bitcoin that you discussed with Peter? It's nice to have insights on such a conversation. And he obliged. He said, I mainly talked about how Bitcoin has great utility in the current macro environment. It's always liquid. Even if you own it, you maintain optionality. There's no downtime. It's almost completely independent from existing financial structures. And ability to trump capital controls because it's peer-to-peer. And also it's scarce, which is really one of the main reasons I think Bitcoin's price is going to go up in the future. But Peter Brandt needed to be reminded what Bitcoin allows you to opt out of. And there's no better video than this to awaken you to the problem. That what are we trying to opt out of? It's stuff like this.
I was counting my money late one night when my eyes beheld a most frightful sight. There's only 55 million in my account, so I hatched a plan to get a larger amount.
It was a crash,
More called a monster crash.
a monster crash,
Let's make loads of cash.
a monster crash,
Get filthy rich in a flash.
a monster crash.
And I'd increase my stat. I've got a great big mansion in the rural southwest, an ancestral home and a London address. I've a hedge fund company, money offshore, but it's just not enough. I still want more.
It was a crash,
More called a monster crash.
a monster crash,
Let's make loads of cash.
a monster crash,
Get filthy rich in a flash.
a monster crash.
And I'd increase my stash.
It was a crash.
This is great. Now, before we get to the final story of the day involving the CFTC approving a physically settled Bitcoin contract, step in the right direction for sure. Before we get to that, I do want to remind you that Thursday evening, we do have this event going on online. It is 100% for charity, as in we do have, I guess you'd call it an affiliate link in the description, but that's only because these guys wanted to track if anybody from Altcoin Daily actually did play. We receive absolutely no kickback from this event. It all goes to the charity and it all goes to the final table. Tried to get them to comp our buy-in. They will not do it. But the reason we wanted to do this is because one, I liked the tournament last time. We like playing online poker. And two, because it does go to charity. And take a look at this right here and right here. We are on the featured players list. So some of these names you recognize. Vcoinist, pretty sure he won last time. Charlie Lee, Wendy O, Bobby Lee, Tone Vase. Somebody told me he's not actually playing in this one, but maybe he is. Jessica Walker. It's really the who's who and the who's that. And finally, they added us to the featured players. So that's pretty cool. So if you wanted to participate in this charity tournament, we do have a special link in the description. We receive, no kickback based on that. Our final story of the day, the CFT approves Bitnomial to offer futures contracts settled in real Bitcoin. This is what we want to see, physically settled Bitcoin futures. So the approval, which was granted Monday, brings a new player to the still small world of Bitcoin futures in the US. To date, only CME, CBOE-backed ErisX, and LedgerX offer Bitcoin futures and options contracts. Not all of those are physically settled. Though the CBOE ended its contract in early 2019 and ErisX sees little volume on its futures, unlike CME, Bitnomial appears to be focusing strictly on physically settled contracts, meaning customers receive the actual Bitcoin when the contract expires rather than the fiat equivalent. So these type of futures are very good for Bitcoin adoption and Bitcoin's price to go up, since people will actually be holding real Bitcoin and won't just be some sort of like paper Bitcoin or what have you. The downside of this, because we try and give you the bullish outlook and then the real outlook, the downside of this is Bitnomial, not a huge company. So this really isn't going to be doing a lot, but it's a step in the right direction. It's trending towards the right direction. And then I guess I'll just throw this one in here. Bitcoin ATMs pump to over 7,500 worldwide. number of Bitcoin ATMs around the world increasing by over 70% since last year. So last year, Bitcoin ATMs increased. We reported on this, or 2 years ago. And then last year again, these Bitcoin ATMs increased. And if you read the article, it's going to break down the geolocation of each ATM and give you some more data. But that is it for me today, my friends. My name is Aaron at Altcoin Daily. Follow us on Twitter if you want to be a part of, daily conversation. We mix it up with the people in the cryptocurrency space.